Today, Ford announced it's delaying the rollout of its new all-electric pickup truck until 2026 and its large electric SUV until 2027.
Yeah, this comes as new data shows growth of EV sales slowed in the first quarter, far below record sales seen last year.
Joining us once again to break down what this might mean for the industry is Paul Eisenstein, editor-in-chief of Headlight.News. Paul, thanks for being here today.
Good to be with you.
So, Paul, it seems like these headlines are constant bad news about the right now when it comes to electric vehicles, but are you still optimistic about the future?
Absolutely. In fact, I want to correct one thing you said a minute ago, if you'll allow me. It's not that EV sales are slowing, it's EV sales growth. Big difference. EVs are still selling faster than they did a year ago. And it really depends on which brand you look at and what segment you look at. Tesla took a bath. One of their typical bears on the stock market called it an unmitigated disaster. And yet, if you go and look at Kia, the big Korean car maker, their EV sales rose last quarter, first quarter. Ready for this? 151%. Ford also grew, and it grew pretty well, but not quite to what they expected. So they've actually been slowing down production at the well, not so much the Mustang, but really the Lightning line over in Dearborn, Michigan. They over anticipated. They expected the sales to grow by almost 600% in a year. Pretty optimistic. So they're rethinking their strategy. As you mentioned, they're going to delay the next generation of that pickup by about a year. And they are going to delay another all-electric EV, a big EV. And basically, they're rethinking their whole electrification strategy.
So, Paul, do you think maybe the initial expectations for that huge growth in the beginning to continue at that rate were just a little premature? Is there something to be said for some of the early adopters, the kinds of people who are going to buy a car with very new technology? Do they just all have EVs already? Now we're just waiting for everyone else to get on board?
You're right on target there. You are seeing mainstream buyers show more interest. In fact, I was just at the New York Auto Show and I got a little report out of there today. The number of people who are doing test drives at the show, they have several tracks set up, has increased by about 80%. And as I mentioned, Kia is growing very, very quickly with mainstream products. Early adapters, yeah, they have pretty much been fulfilled. I'm one of them. But you're starting to see buyers get into EVs. It's just not quite as quick as everybody fantasized. They thought it would happen almost overnight. You will see the growth. Most expectations are it'll go from 1.2 million total this year to 1.5 million. But here's the big thing. Hybrids actually grew faster than EVs last year, and they seem to be doing that again this year. Ford, for example, says it's going to put more emphasis on hybrids and plug-in hybrids in the next year or two. That's probably a good move. For a lot of mainstream buyers, think of that as bridge technology. It makes you feel more comfortable knowing you still have a gas engine to back you up as the market changes, as we see more public chargers come to market.
So you said them shifting their focus is a good move, but they're still delaying this rollout. What do you think is the thought process behind that, and is that smart to do?
Well, I think it's probably right for Ford. They have to do a number of things to improve the cost structure on those vehicles. Jim Farley, the CEO, said a few months ago they were losing, ready for this, $37,000 on every EV they sold. Now, volume helps that. Economies of scale help in any case. So that alone, as sales increase, will make them less of a loss and eventually a profit. But they're trying to reflect what the market is doing. We're seeing that with Hyundai, for example. They're building an all-new assembly plant down in Georgia. And it was supposed to be only EVs. It will continue to be majority EV. But they're also in phase two, adding the ability to build regular gas vehicles and particularly hybrids and plug-ins.
All right. Well, Paul Eisenstein, editor-in-chief of Headlight.News, thanks for being here. Always appreciate your time.